Hello, boys and girls. It's Mr. Miller from Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds. I'm super excited to share with you what we're going to be doing this year. Come on, let's check it out. This year, we're going to be talking to you about washing your hands, the My Plate, the parts of the plant that we eat, smart snacking, and healthy lunches. But today, we're going to talk about keeping ourselves healthy and washing our hands. I want you to think about what keeps you healthy and safe in the room that you're in right now. In the places where you live, at school, and in your community. If you were thinking about places that you live, you could think of things like space to play, water, food, maybe a shower to wash, soap, toothpaste, a bicycle, and of course, maybe even adults. Now, if you think about things like the playground at school, or snacks and lunches at school, or the crossing guards and teachers, they help to keep you safe and healthy. And if we think about our community, people I think that keep me safe are doctors and nurses, firemen, police officers, hospitals. Those are just a couple, to name a few, that keep us safe and healthy. We need to make sure that we're focusing on washing our hands. So what we're going to do today, boys and girls, is we're going to talk about the germs. Does anybody know how many germs might be on your hand at any time? There could be up to 5,000 germs in your hand at any time. So we're going to talk about, when do we wash our hands? We wash our hands before we eat. We wash our hands after using the bathroom or the restroom. Of course, after we go outside and play. And then if they feel dirty or they're sticky. Why should we wash our hands, boys and girls? Well, we wash our hands to wash off the dirt, to wash off the germs. If they feel sticky, to prevent germs from getting into our bodies. That's what can get us sick. Okay, so boys and girls, we often use our hands to eat. Let's think of some foods that we use our hands to eat the food. Some of my favorites are a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, some apples with peanut butter, grapes, carrot sticks, and tacos. All right, boys and girls, we're going to walk through a little activity right now where we're going to learn how to wash our hands. As you can see, there's 5 components. Let's get cooking. The first thing we need to do is to go to the sink, turn on the warm water, and get our hands wet. Once we get our hands wet, we need to put soap on them. Now, Mr. Miller's a big guy, so I like to get 2 pumps of soap. The next thing that we need to do, boys and girls, is we need to scrub our hands. So we're going to scrub our hands, our palms, okay, and the tops of our hands, our fingernails, and between our fingers, and of course, all the way up to our wrists. Want to get them all lathered up. Again, we want to make sure that we're doing this for 20 seconds. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to, I'm sorry, boys and girls, we're going to go back and we're going to get our hands wet and rinse off all the soap, of course. Then we're going to go to the paper towel. Now, I want to make sure that you're focusing on, we didn't turn the faucet off yet because we had germs on our hands when we turned the faucet on. So we're going to dry our hands with the paper towel, and then we're going to go ahead and turn off the faucet using that paper towel. So boys and girls, this is just a quick video to talk to you about the importance of staying safe and healthy. And one of the things we can do to stay safe and healthy is to wash our hands. Remember that you need to make sure you're doing it for 20 seconds, scrubbing all parts of your hands, rinsing off your lathered off the soap off your hands, and then use a towel to dry it off. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and this is Mr. Miller signing off.
Hello, boys and girls. It's Mr. Miller from Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds. Today, we're going to talk about getting up and getting moving, and we're going to review washing our hands. Did you know that even though your hands may look clean, they still may have germs on them? So what we're going to do is we're going to remind ourselves that we need to wash our hands for at least 20 seconds. That's right, 20 seconds. I'm going to give a couple of sentences to you, and I want you to fill in the blank, and this is going to be our review of hand washing. So, for example, the first thing that you do is turn on the blank and wet your hands. If you guessed the faucet or water, you would be correct. Step 2 is squirt blank onto your hands. If you guessed soap, bingo, perfect answer. The next thing we're going to do is scrub your hands, fingers, nails, and wrists on blank sides. If you guessed both sides, you are correct. This one's an easy one. Do this for at least blank seconds. If you guessed 20 seconds, perfect score. Blank your hands with water. If you guessed rinse, you are correct. And the last one is grab a blank towel to dry your hands. If you said dry or paper towel, you are correct. Now, let's get ready to play a game. This game is called Push It for 20 Seconds. And I want you to realize how long 20 seconds actually is. So we're going to do a couple of activities together to recognize how long 20 seconds really truly is. All right, let's go. Okay, boys and girls, our first activity that we're going to do for 20 seconds is march in place. Arms at your side, and you're just going to step up and down. Feel free to pump your arms if you'd like to. We're going to do this for 20 seconds, and it starts right now. Now this isn't going to raise our heartbeat too much, just because we're going nice and soft and slow. If we wanted to go faster, that wouldn't be marching. We can go at a good pace, like so. And that right there was 20 seconds. On to our next activity. Welcome back, boys and girls. Our next activity that we're going to do for 20 seconds is large arm circles. So, if you want, you can go ahead and put your arms straight out, palms facing the sky, and you're going to do some circles just like this. Nice and slow to start, just like so. Are you ready? And go. If you want to go faster, you can. Obviously, the faster you go, the harder it's going to become. And you can go wide or you can go small. And that was 20 seconds. All right, boys and girls, this is our third activity. This one's going to be a little more intense. This is called high knees, and we're going to do it for 20 seconds. But this time we're going to raise our heart rate. So for 20 seconds, you're going to run in place, but you're going to have nice high knees. It will look like this for 20 seconds. Let's see how, don't stop. Ready? Go. only 20 seconds. Great job. Okay, boys and girls, it's time for our fourth activity. And again, we're going to do this for 20 seconds. And these are leg kicks. So you're going to step, extend your knee, and kick. Back and forth. And we're going to do this for 20 seconds. You're just going to switch your legs. Are you ready? 20 seconds. Go. Great job. That's 20 seconds. Way to go. Next up, boys and girls, we're going to do this for 20 seconds. This is going to call a reach for the sky. So you're going to go legs apart. What I want you to do is I want you to reach to the left with both hands, down, reach to the right with both hands. All right? Here we go for 20 seconds. Go. Reach as high as you can. You're doing great. Three, 2, 1, 0. And there's 20 seconds of reaching for the sky. Great job. Okay, boys and girls, we've got one more activity left, and we're going to do this for 20 seconds. And this one's a fun because you get to use your arms. We've used our legs so far. We've used our stomach. We've used our arms before. So, legs apart. Put your dukes up. And we're going to do 20 seconds of jab. Are you ready? And go. Jab. Jab. Good. Good. Now we're going to switch sides. Do this for 10 seconds. Great job. And there's your 20 seconds. Awesome work, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I had a great time. I hope you learned a lot about reviewing how to wash your hands and the 5 steps to do so and how long you should be doing it, which remember is 20 seconds. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you next time. Mr. Miller, signing off. Chicks and Salsa by Aaron Reynolds. Illustrated by Paulette Bogan. There were grumblings in the henhouse of the Nuthatcher farm. The chickens were tired of chicken feed. The rooster took it upon himself to solve this problem. Mrs. Nuthatcher, the farmer's wife, had been starting to watch cooking shows in the afternoon. The rooster was perched on the fence post outside of the farmhouse window when he discovered the solution to his problem. Salsa, he said. Led by the rooster, the chickens crept into the garden where they took out tomatoes and uprooted the onions. That night, the chickens ate chips and salsa, though nobody was quite certain where the chickens got the chips. The tasty tang of tomatoes and onions hung over the barnyard, and the rooster said, "Olé!" Very soon, there were mumblings at the duck pond of the Nuthatcher farm. Inspired by the chickens, the ducks decided they were tired of fish. With the rooster's encouragement, the ducks dipped into the garden where they selected cilantro and gathered garlic. That night, the ducks ate guacamole, though nobody was quite certain where the ducks got the avocados. The spicy scent of garlic and cilantro hung over the barnyard, and the ducks said, "Olé!" The next morning, there were rumblings in the pig pen of the Nuthatcher farm. Overwhelmed by the exciting aromas, the pigs decided they were tired of slop. While the rooster distracted the farmer Nuthatcher, the pigs plodded into the garden where they borrowed beans and chopped some chilies. That night, the pigs ate nachos, though nobody was quite certain where the pigs got the nacho cheese. The delightful deliciousness of the cheese and chilies hung over the barnyard, and the pigs said, "Olé!" As everyone knows, when passion for Southwestern cuisine takes hold of farm animals and so many sumptuous, spicy, savory scents collide in the barnyard air, it can only lead to one thing: a fiesta. The roosters got things organized, then returned to his fence post to watch for a good enchilada recipe. The horses decorated the barn. The bull practiced his Mexican hat dance, though nobody was quite certain where the bull cut his sombrero. And the chickens and the ducks and pigs snuck into the garden. But all of their spicy southwestern supplies were gone. The scallions had been stolen. The peppers had been pilfered. The limes had been lifted. But there were slurpings in the kitchen of the Nuthatcher farm, stirred by the succulent smells in the barnyard. Mrs. Nuthatcher had decided to make tamales for the county fair. A saucy sweetness hung over the farmhouse kitchen, and Mrs. Nuthatcher said, "Olay!" Disappointed, the animals canceled the fiesta. That evening, the chickens ate their chicken feed, the ducks ate their fish, and the pigs ate their slop. But while the Nuthatchers were at the fair, the rooster crept into the kitchen and borrowed a French cookbook. The next morning, the rooster ate crepes with white grapes and champagne sauce, though nobody was quite certain where the rooster learned how to read. A satisfied smile stretched over the rooster's beak, and the rooster said, "Ooh la la." And that, boys and girls, is the story of Chicks and Salsa. Hi, boys and girls, it's Mr. Miller with Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds. Today, we're going to be doing a cooking demonstration, and we're going to be making the recipe watermelon salsa. Come on. For today's recipe, you are going to need watermelon, cilantro, a red onion, a red bell pepper, a jalapeno pepper, some lime juice, and some vegetable oil. You're going to need a couple of materials. I have a big mixing bowl, a sharp knife, a scoop to stir the ingredients around, and some measuring cups: 1 cup, 1 tablespoon, and 1 teaspoon. Here is the watermelon that has been sliced in half. I'm going to go ahead and show you how I cut my watermelon so that it'll fit for our recipe today. So you're going to go ahead and cut this in half. And you can see now I have a quarter. I'm going to triangle it up here. Now this is going to make it a lot easier for us to cut into smaller pieces. Okay, boys and girls, we're back. I've taken some time now to chop up all of our ingredients. So I've taken a watermelon and sliced and diced it nice and thinly. You want to make sure it's thin so it has that salsa feel to it. I've taken our onions and chopped them up finely. Our jalapeno peppers, chopped them up finely seeded. Fresh cilantro. And last, but certainly not least, I've taken our red bell pepper and chopped it up finely. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look to mix all of these ingredients together. Let's get our mixing bowl. So here's my mixing bowl, and now we've got to measure out 3 cups. So 3 cups of the watermelon. So remember, when you're scooping, you want to make sure it's nice and flat. So there's 1 and 2 and 3. So now, as you can see, I filled up my mixing bowl with our watermelons. Next up, we are going to do our bell pepper. Now, this is the bell pepper that we've chopped up. This is half of our bell pepper. We know we're using all of it, so now this one's simple and easy. Just pour it in. Same thing with our onion. We used half an onion. It's already been chopped, so we've already done all of our measurements. We're going to just go ahead and pour it in. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. We're gonna wanna make sure that we're using the proper amounts of lime juice and vegetable oil. So if we refer back to our recipe, it is two tablespoons of lime juice. So I'll get my lime juice out right now. Always make sure you're pouring over top of the bowl. Make sure you can see the bowl here for us. There you are. Again, nice and simple and easy. There's one. Slow squeeze to be careful. Just drain out. And two. Awesome job. Now we're going to head over to our fresh cilantro. Our cilantro was going to be 2 tablespoons. So here's 1 and 2. And now we're going to use our tablespoon again for jalapenos. It's only supposed to be 1 tablespoon of jalapenos, like so. And you can see all the beautiful colors in here so far. And last is the vegetable oil, and we're going to go hit 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil. Voila. Just a quick reminder, boys and girls, you can see the difference between a tablespoon and a teaspoon. The tablespoon is much larger than the teaspoon. Always think of it like this. What's bigger, a table or a teacup? And of course the answer is a table. All right, I'll see you in just a sec. All right, boys and girls, as you can see, I have my bowl, and now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and mix it up and stir it around nice and good so that all the flavors can interact with one another. Oh, it smells amazing. You can really smell the onion and the cilantro. This is a great substitute for people who do not really enjoy tomatoes, but do enjoy a little bit of watermelon. So now, as you can see, all the colors are mixed up together. And I think it's almost time to try it. And that was how we made watermelon salsa. Now, best part of making the meal is trying the samples. Delicious. Until next time, Mr. Miller, signing off.